Hello and welcome to Low Budget Gaming and welcome to the big Steam Weekend Deals video. So there is a lot to talk about in this one. So as always, I've put timestamps below. Skip to the section you are most interested in. We have a lot of big sales on Steam and there's also a new bundle. And I also want to talk about a couple of big franchises and some of their recent pricing decisions, let's say. So let's first start with the brand new Humble bundle. This is the top-down stealth game bundle, Strike from the Shadows. So once again, very specific theme here, and it'll only suit a certain type of person who plays these games. If you're not that person, skip to the next section. I'll briefly talk about this. So this is an unusual bundle because for the first time, the games are all good. However, I don't see great value in this. And let me explain. So we have games that are in the isometric or top-down perspective, but they're not necessarily turn-based. Like I think only one of them is. So they have two tiers here. $7 tier, you get Intravenous, Tunguska the Visitation, Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun, Shadow Tactics Aiko's Choice. 4 games and a coupon for $7. Now this is not bad by any means. However, these two Shadow Tactics games have been given away free. Base game has been given away on Epic and I think on GOG as well. This second one, the standalone expansion, this was free on Epic. So the thing is, these are great games, the Shadow Tactics games, fantastic games, but they have been free. They have recently gone up in value as well. The retail price has been increased. But even so, I see like 80-90% sales on these on Steam. So even with that, it's not that expensive. So $7 here is a little much. 5 would have been fair in my opinion, but 7 seems a little much. Tunguska the Visitation actually looks interesting. It is basically your let me show you a little bit. It's basically a stalker type. I can't get full screen for some reason. So it's like your stalker metro theme game, but it's not turn-based. You are stealthing around a little bit and taking out people, throwing stones to distract them, stuff like that. So it actually looks good. It has got an interesting story. Reading from the comments on Steam, the dev seems to be very responsive and there are a lot of updates and changes. So it is definitely a good looking game if you like that stealth theme and that post-apocalyptic or war-torn Russia, Ukraine sort of setting. This is that kind of game. Intravenous here is your classic Splinter Cell type game, and you have this top-down view, sort of like Hotline Miami. It's more stealth-based. You have to hide in the shadows, in the dark. If you expose yourself in the light, you'll be noticed. Every time you take a step, you make noise, stuff like that. So it is, again, another good-looking game. I guess overall, games, like I said, are good. Price, I think, is a little much. And then $11 tier, we get 3 more games, 2 more coupons. We get War Mongrels. This is a World War II themed game, tactics game. And then we have Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden, very nice post-apocalyptic themed game, but this is turn-based tactics, by the way. And this was also free on Epic. Then we have Serial Cleaners, probably the newest game from this bundle. When I say new, I think it came out last year, September or something, so about a year old. And this is something I want to play. You are playing as basically a cleanup crew for like the crime gangs in 90s New York, I think. So you go and clear out the stuff after like a crime has happened before the police get there. It is quite expensive though. Regional price has gone up. Regional price has gone up on this as well. Has gone up on this as well. So a lot of games have upped the price quite a bit. This one not too much. It was already like 1059 in India. Now it's like 14 something, 1460 I think. So they all have gone up a little bit. So this bundle only makes sense, in my opinion, to people first who like this sort of game, and secondly, who don't have any of these games. Like if you did not pick up the free stuff from Epic, or if you don't care about Epic, you want the games on Steam, you don't have any of these games, you pay 11, you get everything, then it makes sense. Otherwise, for me, for example, I have Mutant Year Zero, I have Shadow Tactics, I have Ico's Choice, I think I have Intravenous as well. So yeah, so for me, War Mongrels, I'm not interested. This is probably the weakest game in the bunch. I'm interested in Serial Cleaners and Tunguska. For these two games, $11 is too much. Not for me. And this one, if this was in like a $3 tier with these games, with these two games, I guess. If they had made $3 tier with these three games, I would have bought it. Even if I had this already. Because these two would have been okay. So yeah, so that's my view with this one. Buy this if you are a fan of these stealth isometric games, and if you don't have all or most of them. So yeah, that's the only way. It's not too expensive. 11 isn't bad. You get how many games? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 games for 11. Again, value-wise, it's pretty good. But yeah, I said value-wise it wasn't good, but yeah, you know what I mean. But this is not the sort of game that is a bundle seller. It's like you don't have any big names here. These are all small indie niche games, and a very small audience would love this. Let me know what you think either way. Anyway, let's move on to Steam because we have a lot to talk about. So on Steam, we have a big sale on Focus Entertainment. Now, Focus Entertainment recently has become one of my favorite, if not my favorite publisher, because they try a lot of different style of games. They have a huge variety of games. Of course, there are some hits and misses, obviously, but they try new IPs. They don't have all the unnecessary monetization and all the other stuff from big AAA studios, and they fit the sort of AA theme very nicely. So these are some of their games. A lot of them are on sale. I'm not going to show you here. I'm going to go into separate individual pages on the best deals because a lot of their games on sale. And I noticed another thing with Focus is they haven't increased the regional prices for older games, so you can still get some great games for very little money. The new games that are releasing now or recently, they are releasing with the new regional price, but the old stuff hasn't changed. So it may change, who knows. So if you are interested in any of these games, following games, pick them up before they also get increased. Alright, first we start off with SnowRunner, probably my favorite off-roading game. I have this on Epic. I have played a ton of it. I may even end up getting this on Steam simply because there are quite a lot of DLCs, and at the moment they've made it quite complicated to buy the things separately. Now, when I bought SnowRunner, I bought the 1-year anniversary edition because at that time it was the platinum edition or something, and I got first year content along with the base game. So first year content has 4 seasons, and each season they have a theme and a bit of a story. A story like very I say the word story very loosely because there isn't a story as such, but things to do, objectives. Lots of trucks, big maps, lots to do, and yeah, very enjoyable game if you like these off-roading sims, whether you like the Euro Truck Simulator type games or this style of game. These are great games to sort of have something playing in the background, so like a podcast or some long video or something. You have that and you play this and you do your thing. It's enjoyable to people like me. So basically, if they have like a full version, I'll be probably buying it again if the price isn't increased or something. But for now, these are games where you pick up the base game, you play it, and if you enjoy it enough and you want a little more content, you go around picking up the season DLCs and things like that. So most of the DLCs are basically the season themes. Yes, so search and recover, explore and expand, locate and deliver, new frontiers, etc. And then you have the trucks and the other vehicles that are available. So 2 types of DLCs basically. These games have a lot of them, but don't be put off by them. Like I said, these are meant to be bought individually anyway. So like Euro Truck Simulator has a ton of DLCs. You add the maps, you add the cars or trucks that you want, and it's not necessary to have the whole thing. But people like me, I can kind of get restless if I don't have the full version of the game, as it were. Anyway, let's talk about the price. 50% off, 600 in India, $15, $12.99 in the UK, 20 in Canada, 15 in the euros. Next, we have another sort of simulation style game, although this is not simulating anything in real life. This is Hardspace Shipbreaker. So you are basically salvaging spaceships and stuff like that, cutting it up, and then putting it aside based on whether you can recycle something or it's just rubbish or something. Surprisingly a fun game. You are basically floating in zero gravity and chopping it up and putting it in the right compartments, I guess. So I played this one when it was in early access, but they have added a lot more content. I haven't looked at it recently. I have the game, so yeah, it is very positive and very popular. Again, people who would like something like SnowRunner may end up liking this as well. If you are more of an action oriented person, it's probably not your kind of game. So this is 50% off, $7.49 in India, $17.49, £15, 22 in Canada, $17.50 in the Eurozone, and 150,000 in Indonesia. I've also added Mexican dollars recently, is 250. So yeah, I like this game. Anyway, more focus games. I could have made this entire video about focus, but I wanted to use the magic of timestamps and add everything here. So we have Necromunda Hired Gun. This is a FPS game in the Warhammer 40k setting. You're not playing as the Space Marines or something here. You're just playing as a bounty hunter. And it's the environment and the theme in this game that was very well done. You are in like a hive city, under hive, I guess. And you have a faithful companion in your dog. And there's a lot of customization. So you have like a mission-based structure. You go pick up a mission, go and kill or whoever the target is or whatever else is required to do. And yeah, you can customize yourself, your guns, your dog. And yeah, it's a good sort of double A game, let's put it that way. I played it and my opinion has changed a bit over the time. I liked it at first, then I kind of didn't enjoy it that much, then I'm liking it again. Now prices are starting to go down, and once that happens, you can start and overlook a lot of things. So it is a bit cheaper now. I think this might be a new low as well. Yeah, it is a new low. It is now 70% off, only 479 rupees. So under 500 for this, I think it's a good price. $12, 10.49 pounds, 16.49 in Canada, 20 in the Euro, 12 in the Eurozone, and 16.48 in Australia. Now this is a game. If it was a 479, if it was like $700-800, I would probably not mention it. Same here. If it was like $17-18, I would say but around 500, 12ish, I think it's okay. The Surge 2. Now this is an older game, and this is something I would highly recommend. This is basically a Souls-like game with a futuristic setting. You're fighting these sort of people with mechanical arms and stuff, and then you chop off the parts that are interesting to you and attach it to yourself. There's the Surge 1 as well, which is very good, and both these games are very cheap. You could buy the bundle and get both of them. So here is Surge 2 at 80% off, only 260 in India, $6, 540 in the UK, 8 in Canada. There's a premium edition, so a little more. I think you should probably get this. 340 is 80% off, $8. Surge 1 and 2 pack, 82% off. I think these are just the base games here. Let me see. Yeah, it seems like they're just the base games. See, first one is even cheaper. So Surge 1 is also has a demo. So 80% off, 120 these days for a big sort of double A style game is very rare to see. $3, especially with the regional increases. $2.49 in Canada, UK, $4 in Canada. Augmented edition, all the extra stuff, only $200, $5. I think you could try the first game, and if you end up liking it, you can pick up the second. I only say this because I tend to sort of worry a lot about the prices going up these days. This was like no-brainer a couple of years ago, but with the recent prices, some games have gone up so much that this just seems unbelievable at times that you can still get games this cheap from not that long ago. Next is probably my favorite sort of AA style RPG of recent years. It is Greedfall, again made by Focus, published by Focus, made by Spiders. They are making a second game here, which is a sort of a prequel. They've also recently made Steel Rising, which is also doing quite well. This one here, a lot of people said that if you love the old BioWare RPGs, you'll like this. I've played a little bit of the BioWare stuff, but not that much. There's again romance and stuff like that here. But the thing I liked here is, again, they had a new different setting, and all the factions, there was no like clear bad guy that you had to fight or something. Everybody had like the shades of gray, and if you talked and did the quests and had a interesting conversation, you could end up being okay with everyone, or like have one clear bad guy if you didn't go along with them or something. So you had flexibility in that. Of course, with games like this, there's a lot of dialogue and talking, so if you want more action stuff, probably not this one, because the combat wasn't the best part of this game. It was kind of weak in my opinion. But the storytelling, the quests, the characters, the world design, all of that was very well done. I enjoyed it. I played it when it first came out, pretty much no-lifed it, and put in like 38 hours in about a week or so. Really, really fun game. Also helped that I was kind of sick at the time and I didn't have much else to do. But yeah, I really liked this game. So we have the base game on sale, and there's a gold edition with an extra DLC. Price isn't that much different, so I'll just talk about the gold edition. 72% off, $5.59 in India, $11.19 in the US, $9.51 in the UK, $14 in Canada, $11 in the Eurozone. This is the DLC, the D Vespe Conspiracy. It's got mixed reviews. I guess we could just pick up the base game. It's a little cheaper, and then pick up the DLCs if you really love the game. Now on to some indie style games made by Focus. So I say indie style because they've got this pixel art, but it's still a bigger publisher, I guess. Now this one is very popular, has been mentioned to me quite a bit. I did buy it, did play a bit. I played a demo and streamed it a bit, but a lot of people really love this game. This is a old school style action RPG, pixel graphics, and it's actually very good. Just try the demo if you are not sure about these sort of games, because you like the story and the way they have done this game. This is 60% off. Is it a new low? 65 was the lowest. Okay, anyway, so it's close enough. 60% off, $3.54 in India, $8, £6, $8.79 in Canada, 8 euros, and 54,000 in the Indonesia, 11.58 in Australia, 72 in Mexico. There is a DLC as well, right? A new home. Yeah, so there's a DLC. It's not expensive here, but yeah, definitely try this if you like old school JRPGs and stuff like that. Now, a lot of YouTubers talk about this game Chained Echoes as an example of a smaller style game with a lot of heart and very well made with a lot of content. I've seen this mentioned quite a bit recently. I don't remember who, but I've seen 2 or 3 different YouTubers randomly mention this as a great game, especially when you hear about all the drama with Starfield and Baldur's Gate and stuff like that. You see something like this being mentioned, and I noticed a few people mention this. So again, 16-bit style RPG with a lot of content, and I think quite a bit of gameplay time as well. It looks quite beautiful, as you can see here graphically. Even if you don't like pixel art, you can't deny that it looks good. And it's also got a good price. So this is 20% off, but it's not an expensive game. $4.55 in India, old regional price by the way. $20, 20 in the UK, 23 in Canada, 20 in the Eurozone, 95,999 in Indonesia, 187 in Mexico, 28 in Australia. So I guess the regional price is really good here, but maybe a little more. But yeah, it does look very good to me. Okay, now we have a horror, psychological horror style game, Call of Cthulhu. And again, I have played this game and it's a good game. I kind of liked it, got into it a little bit. So this one here is again very cheap, 75% off, 200 in India, $5, 449 pounds, 649 in Canada, €5. Yeah, it's interesting setting, Lovecraftian horror. Next we have Othercide, so another sort of horror-ish theme, but this is more of a turn-based tactics game, roguelite, sorry. And it's got a unusual aesthetic, this black and white style. It looks pretty good, and you have to fight these creatures. It looks very stylish, and I think it's also on a new low, I believe. Yes, 80% off, 279. In India, $6, 539 pounds, and 8 in Canada, €6. Now on to some non-focus games. We have Divinity Original Sin 2 Definitive Edition on sale. So I wanted to mention this because of course Baldur's Gate 3 is a big deal right now, and some of you may be interested in it, but because it's new and expensive you may not want to try it. So this is your best option because this is made by the same people, Larian Studios, similar style game, and also very popular, very well received game. Look at the reviews here, 150,000 overwhelmingly positive. Big detailed game, and this could be a great way to try out this style of game, and if you end up liking it, then you could pick up Baldur's Gate 3 later down the line. So this is 60% off. It usually always stays at this price. Occasionally you can say it goes down to 65, but this is the usual price. I've seen this price so many times that by default whenever I see this game on sale I assume it's 60%. So this is $3.95 only, again old regional pricing, $18, 12 pounds, 22 in Canada, 18 in the Eurozone. This is also a very big game, so similar to Baldur's Gate, you can put in 100-150 hours quite easily. So yeah, have a look at this if you are interested in Baldur's Gate 3. Now we have Titanfall 2. So despite my love-hate relationship with Apex, I can't deny that Titanfall 2 is a great game. Especially the single player game. I don't know what the state of the multiplayer is these days, but this was one of the best, if not the best, FPS campaign I've played. Now, the only issue I guess is the multiplayer. It was very bad, but if you just buy it for the single player, I think you'll love it. It's not a very long campaign either, so depending on how you play and how fast you want to go, you can actually finish this in about 4 hours. 4 to 6 hours is usually how long it'll take. 6 hours for someone like me probably, but if you are like a younger person who's like into these FPS games, you'll probably finish it in 3.5 hours or something if you're skipping everything. So yeah, 90% off, great game, great price, definitely something everyone should have. It's also the ultimate edition which includes all of this. And so this is 149, 150 in India. Big AAA EA game, I guess, for 150, $3, 249, 4 in Canada, 3 in the Euros. I guess a lot of people like me, we ended up liking Apex because of Titanfall. Like if Titanfall hadn't been a thing, we probably wouldn't have been into Apex as much. Anyway. We have another shooter here, this time Sniper Elite 5. So this time we are back in France, I think. And this is the latest one, came out last year. It's been out for a bit of over a year. Price is surprisingly low for a newish game. 70% off, $3.29 in India, $15, 13.49 pounds, 17 in Canada, 15 in the Eurozone. The previous games are also on sale. Sniper Elite 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, all of them are here. In fact, I think 3 is very cheap, but I didn't want to mention too many of them. You can have a look, you probably already have it. But yeah, this was the latest one, and I played a little bit from the Game Pass, and it was actually pretty decent. Graphically looks good too. Next we have Chorus. This is from Deep Silver. Space combat style game, again very well received. the Should You Play channel, they got early access or something to it. They reviewed it and they said it's a pretty good game. I'm recommending this game as something a little different to the usual stuff. How many space combat games do you see and how many of them are actually good? So yeah, this is very good. I would love to play this with one of those controllers, the Thrustmasters or whatever they call it. So yeah, this is on a good sale. Not an old game, came out December 21. There's a demo available as well. 75% off. 224 in India, $10, 874 pounds, 1137 in Canada, 10 euros, 42,500 in Indonesia, 92 in Mexico. We have Mortal Shell outside. So Mortal Shell is another Souls-like game. And the reason I'm mentioning this here is because it's very cheap, like really, really cheap this time. So hopefully the reviews get better, I guess. But yeah, this is another Souls-like game, had an interesting concept. You have these shells that you can, inhabit and use their abilities and things like that. It's probably not a very long game. The lore isn't as detailed, but look at the price here. 88% off, less than 100 rupees. So it's 96 rupees only, 359 in the US, 3 pounds, 3.95 in Canada, 3 euros. So yeah, this was also free from Epic, by the way, so you may already have it, but if not, very cheap deal here. And now I wanted to talk about the Need for Speed games as they are on sale, and my thoughts on it and what I would recommend you pick up right now. So there are quite a few Need for Speed games. Of course, with time, the licenses expire, the older ones get delisted. Now, I am an old fan of this series, like a really old fan, like from Need for Speed 2 onwards, like the original from the 90s. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, the first Hot Pursuit from 98, 99, something like that. And Need for Speed Porsche Unleashed, that was my favorite. I bought like a cheap Logitech steering wheel and played it with that. So I have a soft spot for this series despite how it is these days. So even though I don't really follow much of this, I do tend to pick these up because I know they'll get delisted eventually. So I pick up whenever I can, whenever they're cheap enough. So the point I'm trying to make here is I don't think they are great games now. So I wait for them to be as cheap as possible, then I just add them and try it a little bit. So for a higher price, I would say no, but if they're really cheap, then I do add them. And this is very cheap. So this is Need for Speed Heat from 2019. This is 90% off currently. It was 95% off last year. I don't know if they'll go back down to that price, but this is also the deluxe edition. I don't know this recorded lowest price if this was for the normal version or the deluxe version. So anyway, here at 350, I think it's a great deal. I might just pick it up for myself. $7 here, 6 pounds, 9 in Canada, 7 in the Eurozone. This is from 2019, so I don't think it'll get removed very soon, but it's still almost like 5 years out. There is the older Need for Speed Most Wanted, not the 2005 one, but the 2012 one. That is still available. That might get removed. This one I don't think would get removed that quickly. So yeah, this is 90% off. The latest one here is Need for Speed Unbound. And you can see here the reviews are mixed. I have a friend, another YouTuber who has been making some videos. I've seen some gameplay. It looks pretty good and he seems to like it. But again, with the mixed reviews, I tend to stay away from stuff with this sort of review. At least I want like overall to be positive or recent ones to be positive or something. If it's both mixed, then I'm not sure. Plus the price is 70% off, 1049. So like I was explaining just now, if they become cheap enough, then I don't mind adding them. If it's like 200-300, I'll add them and play a little bit, and I won't feel like I missed out or it was so bad I paid too much or something like that. Also, look at all of this. This is ridiculous. Anyway, so there's this version here. Yeah, I'm not recommending with the online numbers as well, but I wanted to just show you that at 1000 it may not seem, but if this was 300 in like a couple of years, then I would probably get it. There's also the Unbound Palace edition, basically give us more money edition. and they seem to have a few these things. I don't know if all of this is included in this version. Let me see if they have something here. Palace edition. Yeah, I think it does. Stacked palace, character pose, license plate, driving effects. See, with these car games, the only things I would care is about more cars. So this sort of stuff I don't care. Cars, yeah, I'll get the cars. So let's see. Palace upgrade. Okay. Lex Siege, custom pack. I don't know. I'll have to go into more detail and see videos specifically about this game to understand this. But yeah, for this one, my recommendation is, unless you are an insane fan, you don't mind getting disappointed, wait for it to get cheaper. Then we have Need for Speed Payback. Again, I don't remember this getting great reviews at that time, but seems to be positive here. And also this is a bit cheaper, quite a bit actually. So this is 85% off, $224, and this is the deluxe edition. I guess this makes so much sense. Deluxe edition, you get everything, less than $5. Pick this up if you really wanted your Need for Speed fix. And yeah, so 2017, so it's not that old. It's also not that new, so it should run better. And again, reviews are better. So $224 for this. I might actually get this version. It is 85%. Then you also have Need for Speed Rivals. I have picked this up recently, but I did it on Origin because you have to connect to Origin anyway. So buying it on Steam and then having another launcher, it was just annoying. So I got it on Origin. It was the same price. So this is from 2013, and this is now a little older, 10 years old. So this could get removed, perhaps. They did remaster Hot Pursuit from 2010 again. So this is the complete edition of the game, only $200 in India, $4. Yeah, why can't they make things like this more common? Like have the complete edition, make it cheap enough, people will buy it, even if your game isn't that great. So again, mostly positive reviews here, so it's not that bad, I guess. And yeah, it's the, hang on, mixing this up with the other one. Yeah, I forgot what this one was. I remember Hot Pursuit was like you are the police and you're chasing stuff. I was mixing this up with that one. I don't remember what this one is. Hot Pursuit, the remaster was given away on Prime, so I had it from there. This I did buy. Yes, I did buy this one. Anyway, they're all the same, racing, police and stuff like that. Different locations and stuff. So again, forgive me for forgetting what age of the games were, because I've only really tried it out a little bit here and there, and I just want to have the Need for Speed games in my collection. And now finally wanted to talk about Dark Souls and something weird. It's on sale. So if you remember, just before the Steam summer sale, a lot of people were asking about Dark Souls and if it would be on sale or not. It was on sale during the summer sale, but after like a year and a half. And now couple of months later they have on sale again with no big sale around. So what I think is happening here is, you can see with this Dark Souls Remastered, what they did was after the Steam sale, they increased the base price. They doubled it, especially in India, regional pricing and other places as well probably. And now they put it on sale. So I think what they've done is they've thought, okay, we're not putting our games on sale. People seem to want sales. And so what should we do? Let's increase the price on the older games and then put a 50% off sale. So it's still the same price as the full price before, but people will think it's on sale. I think that is what's happening here. So previously this was the full price and they would have thought, are people not buying it at full price? No sir, Steam, people expect games to be cheap on Steam. Okay, let's double the price and give them a 50% sale. Those idiots will think it's a big sale. I think that is what's happening. So yeah, it's on sale. So I'm thinking they'll probably have more sales on the Dark Souls games, but they are going to tidy it up. Any older game that is on a good regional price or something, they'll increase it and then have frequent sales and not go below 50%. So you can see here, Scholar of the First Sin, Dark Souls 2 is also same price. This is also same price. And this one, they still have the full original price and they got 50%. So yeah, they'll probably do this more often now. Yeah, I don't know if I can recommend this because I bought it when it was 1200 and on a small sale, so 800 something. Now the full price is double the base price, the original price, and the sale price is equal to its full price in the past. I don't know. So yeah, weird decision. Let me know what you think. And yeah, let's wrap this video up. This is a very long one. Thank you for watching if you did.